You know how Steppin with Marcus J. Thank y'all everybody for staying with us. Be down with us at 804-402-2893 to be down with the flagship show Legacy Internet Radio. If you hadn't noticed, some of the music that we're playing tonight been Tupac Shakur influence. Of course, today would have been his birthday, so shout out to Tupac Amaru Shakur. Same song, first track that he was ever on. So giving a little love to that brother. Shout out to my brother Hakeem checking in. I see you out there, my brother. Thank you for checking in with us here on Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. I'm gonna definitely want your opinion on this next segment. 804-402-2893 is the number to dial. Hit us up in social media or any of the avenues that we have. Text message us, whatever avenue that you want to get into to kind of share what your thoughts are and the things that we're talking about would be appropriate. All right. I had been teasing for a lot of the show. I had two questions that I wanted to ask in this segment. One is on consensual sex and one is on Women and Father's Day. So I'm going to come and tackle the consensual sex question first. This is something that I saw pop up on my wall over the weekend, and I wanted to bring this to the crew. And so I'm glad that we have a balanced crew. We've got two guys and two gals here tonight. And I'm just going to read this question exactly how I saw it. And I'm not going to kind of explain any of it because I didn't have any explanation when I posted it. I just kind of saw what the question was, posted it, and then people just went crazy with it. So here's the question. This couple was having consensual sex. She reached her climax before him and wanted him to stop thereafter. He didn't stop right away because he also wanted his orgasm. She later reported him for rape, claiming that he didn't stop after she said stop. What's your take on this? Was she raped? SY co-host, I want you in on this one first. And let's kind of roundtable this. And depending on where we go, we've got some comments here from the folks in social media already out there because we've already kind of put this question out there to social media. And there's far too many for us to read them all, but we'll read some of them. That's why you're up first. What you got?
She was raped. No means no. Stop means stop. Doesn't matter what happened prior to. Okay? She told him no, and he continued. So she was raped. That's my opinion.
Miss Bless, what's your take on this question?
It's not funny. I apologize. But,
no, you don't.
No, I do. I mean, it's just like when the dude nuts and he's trying to tell you to stop playing, you know, and he wants you to stop right then. If you don't stop, you might get punched in your face. So I mean,
yeah, I'd have been there. Stop, damn it!
I think we need to go to break.
Exactly. So I mean, we can't fight back like that, and our nose don't, always. Sometimes they fall on deaf ears by that time because he's just trying to get his, but it's the same thing the other way. He wants you to stop. He might bust you.
Okay.
You might catch a bad one.
So I need the reminiscing to stop.
Okay. Hey, he asked for opinions. That's what I'm giving.
Yo, for real.
But you didn't say whether she was raped or not. You missed that part.
No, I mean, how can it be rape if the consent was given? And then all of a sudden you retract the agreement. You retract your yes.
That's how it could
after
be rape.
The agreement has been established.
That's exactly how it's rape. That is exactly how it's rape.
Was he charged?
She said no.
I need to know.
It's a hypothetical question, so we're not getting into any of that.
She said no.
She said no after it was in her?
After she got hers.
She got hers and it was...
Maybe she changed her mind.
Yes, she does. No.
She changed her mind. I don't care what it is.
You suspect to catch a charge.
She did it. She said no, and he did it.
That's selfish.
That's selfish, right? That's
straight
selfish.
Selfish
is straight. You suspect to catch a charge
still a four-letter
and everything.
word.
No, because the agreement was there.
Robert says that if he's the judge, they were having consensual sex, and he uses some crass language here, but he also says that she, is selfish. He would also advise the man to find somebody else to get with. Lady Z, who checked in, earlier, says, hell no, she wasn't interested anymore, along with being selfish. Madrika says any action after no is non-consensual. He needs to not deal with her again, but the fact remains that sex has to be consensual for it not to be rape. Jody is asking during mid-stroke. She has a problem with that. If there was pain involved and he continued, that would be one thing. But just because she orgasmed first, she has a problem with that. That's selfish. There's more here. I'm gonna get 2 more comments in. Jay Grizzy says, how can it be consensual and then rape in the same act? In that case, he would have complied with the wishes to stop and told her, but that chick you call your bestie, let me finish. Of course, he had to take it there. And then Paula says it's rape. Consent can be revoked at any time. At the time of revocation, the act must be stopped. To continue would be non-consensual, therefore rape. So
I
Go ahead. You go first.
No, I mean, I was just going to say, I mean, yeah, if there's pain involved, if he's doing something that's going to hurt her, then yes. I mean, if she's dry and she's starting to, something else is going on,
Right,
then yeah,
you're right,
might
right.
need to stop.
Yeah,
But
I agree with you there.
Come on.
But see, then
What is rape? What is rape?
Rape is saying
rape
no
is
from
when
the
I
beginning.
rape is when I just straight up take it.
What is rape?
Rape
What-
is.
Listen.
I'm trying to answer it. You
Forget-
keep cutting me off.
Forget your feelings. Forget your thoughts. Who cares? She was selfish. It's beside the point. What is rape?
You and I going outside and me just taking advantage of you right then and there. I ain't even ask. I'm just doing it.
No.
Tamika says, in the eyes of the law, any consenting party, male or female, can say no at any point for any reason. The other party has to comply. If they don't, they can be charged and possibly convicted of rape. The scenario happens more often than you think.
Let me tell you.
Ness says that she was selfish. Anthony, my cousin Tony. Tony says, any party says to stop, then you must stop. And Nikki says, and this is the last comment, then we'll finish it up. Nikki says her being selfish has nothing to do with the fact that once someone says stop, is no longer consensual sex.
Here we go.
So
I agree that, I mean, if I was in that situation, whatever happened and make me say no, yes, I want you to stop right now. But me standing on the outside, I can't say. I've been in a situation before where I said no. The police came and they said, well, he said that you all were doing something consensual and you changed your mind. It doesn't matter what he says. I mean, they didn't press any charges. They didn't believe my story. So, I mean, it is what it is. Next, I'm sorry.
that's why you got the face on. Okay, it's radio. You have to talk.
Oh, you're kidding, right?
Okay.
I mean, they were having sex. If they were going at it for an hour, like I said, and she can't take no more, then no means no. But she, in my opinion, she should do, if they've been together, if they're boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, whatever, she should be doing something to finish it off because she wouldn't want that done to her.
Exactly.
All right. I totally agree with Brandy and Carlton Banks, and 100% agree with SY. Once no is said and no is legitimately said, then that's it. It's a wrap. It don't matter if she's selfish, and I don't think anybody's disputing whether she's being selfish. Obviously, she's being selfish. But, if someone don't want to do it no more and you continue against their will, then that is the definition of a rape. And the fact that they're being selfish does not negate the fact that you took it at that point. And we don't have to apply gender to it. We can take gender out of it if it makes everybody feel comfortable. We know that the prevailing thought is that men rape women and women don't
Not
rape
always.
men. We know that happens. It happens on a very small scale, but it does happen. And I know that it makes us all feel uncomfortable to think about a man being the one that's in physical power, not power as in I could beat you up, but physical. I can control this situation. If she tells you, all right, it's a wrap, I'm done, and you don't stop, she gave you consent before, but consent is a moving target. And if that target moves, then you got to move with it. And moving with it means you got to stop, and you just got to stop. I don't like that. I don't think it's cool. I think that she's a selfish, bad word for doing it. But at the end of the day, it's her.
Oh, now he gonna stop cussing.
Well, the word that I was going to use
It's
is a
not
word that I
a
won't
word that-
use
yeah.
on the air. I'll say shit all day long, but I'm
Kobe-
not going to say that word that I was thinking. That's why I said bad word. Thank
Kobe
you very much.
Bryant and all the other athletes that have been accused of that. It's just, I don't know. It was okay before, but now all of a sudden it's not.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Because, the motive behind when it's okay can't be something that's negotiable. For example, I could be the worst, again, I got to remember on the air, there's certain words I won't use, but I could be the worst kind of person, and I know that I'm trying to trap you. And yeah, using my logic is going to work in your favor if you that person, because no means no. And unfortunately, that's going to affect the good guy that's just trying to get his after he's just helped her get hers. And unfortunately, it's gonna negatively affect him
Some lotion
and
or
potentially cause him, a problem. But at the end of the day, saying that you gave me consent earlier, why doesn't it apply now? To me, it's just as bad as saying you had on a push-up bra and I liked your boobs. That's why I touched them. You know what I mean? I touched them. I didn't give you permission to touch my boobs. You can't get that.
No, that's not the same.
You want to talk to Mike?
That's not the same thing. That's an assault. She didn't tell you could touch them.
Yeah, but when she revokes when she revokes
Right.
the consent, then now it becomes assault.
But your scenario said she had a push-up bra on and you came and touched them. She never said you could touch them.
Okay, but I'm saying, you can focus on a bad analogy, but the fact remains that if she revokes consent, it is still assault.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. Bad analogy, but the fact remains. It is what it is. I mean,
Unless you're in Mardi Gras and you throwing some beads.
Enough, Carlton.
well, no, I'm just kidding. Nah, it's one of those things that we have to agree to disagree. But I think what we all agree on is that if we're supposed to specifically stick to this situation, she's incredibly selfish, and it's unfortunate that this dude will have to pay the price for her selfishness if he continues on. And you know how Steppin with Marcus J. All right, Carlton, I want you in on this first. We talked over the years, you and I, about this question, and I want your thoughts on it now. We know that yesterday, June 15th, the third Sunday of every June is known as Father's Day in the United States. And on Father's Day, those of us who take care of our children are supposed to be celebrated, and we're supposed to have a great day and all those kinds of things. A lot of what we have been seeing, particularly in recent years, is people beginning to celebrate females, particularly single parents, on Father's Day. I guess the prevailing thought behind that is if dad's not around, mom is kind of having a dual role of mother and father. I'll share what my thoughts are on that in a minute. If you know me, you pretty much have a good idea how I feel about it. But Carlton, I want you in on this one first. So I'll ask you kind of a question to kind of jump off your response. Do you have a problem with women being celebrated on Father's Day in any way? Yes or no? Why or why not?
I have a serious problem with it because you're not going to wish me a happy Mother's Day on if I was a single parent and on Mother's Day. And the thing is, you're not a man. You cannot replace a man, and you're not going to become a man. So therefore, why are you getting a gift or acknowledgement on Father's Day? Did you somehow have some immaculate conception? Did you get a sperm
Fertilize yourself.
Did you fertilize yourself? Did you got a turkey baster? I mean, really, where's the fairness in that? There are single mothers who purposely wanted a child, not from, and they got artificial inseminated. I'm gonna go with the artificial insemination standpoint and say, are you gonna all of a sudden call them a father too? I mean, really, where is that? The birth certificate is blank. There's no dad in that scenario. So where all of a sudden are you gonna say Father's Day for her? It's not fair. You can't do that to me. If I adopt a child, are you gonna give me Mother's Day? No. I mean, first of all, the 2 days in itself are just over commercialized. I mean, heck, I had to get cards from tell my dad I love him when I can call him up and say I love him, and it's cheaper. I can say the same thing to my brother. I can call him up and say I love him. It's not doesn't even cost my minutes because he's on my family and friends plan. I'm just saying, it pisses me off to see women say, or not women. I apologize. People say to women, Happy Father's Day, when already a month before they had Mother's Day. If you missed them then, shame on you. All right?
Ms. Bless, what you think?
Coming from the standpoint of not having a father in the house, and we're playing gender roles here. I don't think that there has been a time that I have told my mother Happy Father's Day. I know who my father is. I know where he is. Whatever happened, but I call him when I want to. If I want to talk to him, then I'll call him. But as far as Father's Day is concerned, the man that played the role of a father figure, as far as taking care of me when I need someone to come and fix something in the house, playing that male gender role of fixing things and doing the things that men are supposed to do, was either my uncle, rest in peace, Uncle Ed, or my stepdad, Ray, who, if you're friends with me on Facebook, I put out a post for him. I don't think there's ever been a time. I appreciate my mother for being the single parent that she was for so many years, but that's what Mother's Day was for. And that's what I did. I gave her props on Mother's Day. But Father's Day is for the male figure in your life that has put himself in that role, mentor, uncle, cousin, whoever it is that played that male role. That for women, that's supposed to be the man that you look for when you want to get married or whatnot. And for the men, the one that showed you what it took to be a man, chopping wood country. Like I said, I'm country. Chopping wood and fixing cars and things of that nature. That's the father. Unless mama was out there with her overalls on doing the same thing, then I'd stick with the gender roles the way they are.
Hakeem is listening to us. He said that if they want to do it like that, we need to have a single parents day. That's why. What's your thoughts on the subject?
Happy Mother's Day. Happy Father's Day, Mom. I will say Happy Mother's Day and Happy Father's Day to my mother. I don't have a problem with telling my mother Happy Father's Day. I always have, and I always will. I have friends who are single fathers, and I say Happy Mother's Day. And then Father's Day come around and I say Happy Father's Day, because they're doing the job of both. Period.
I can dig it. I totally and vehemently disagree with that logic, because I think that it takes away from those of us who are men, who are fathers, who are doing the job as fathers, when you specifically single out a woman on Father's Day and you tell her Happy Father's Day. I think you minimize every single man who's doing the job as a father, and you are highlighting those men who are not. And as Carlton alluded to a minute ago, you never see men, well, I shouldn't say never because I don't know everybody, but on a large scale, you don't see single fathers being celebrated on Mother's Day. You know, and a lot of folks will say, well, because you don't have no single father. Yes, you do. I know plenty of them. And so you don't get the kind of attention on Mother's Day for men. You don't say to a dude, you know, well, Happy Mother's Day on Mother's Day to a dude. So it annoys me. I've gotten to the point where I get so annoyed by it. Like, I literally get pissed off by it that I don't even really acknowledge it in social media like I used to. Just because I just don't think that it's worth me spending Father's Day when I should be being celebrated by arguing with people who are basically bitter chicks.
That's what's taken away from you. We're not taking that away. You're taking it away. If you let it get to you what someone else feels, really?
Yeah.
But I never gave it to you in the first place.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, what you just said makes a lot of sense, and I understand that. You know, getting annoyed. Yeah, I understand where you're going with it. I don't want to overstate it. I ain't losing no sleep over it. It's not that, you know, but I am a man who takes fatherhood very seriously. I'm also a man who not only fathers my own child, but I father other children around me. If you're one of my child's friends, then you're my child. I've said to my child's, parents, particularly the moms in the past, that we raising these girls together. You know what I mean? My child is your child, and your child is my child. And so, ain't nobody coming to me saying Happy Mother's Day, Mr. Johnson. It's not going down like that. And so when I see, and I get it, I know that ladies, y'all hold down the communities and y'all holding down the families, and I get all of that. But at the end of the day, you ain't nobody's daddy. You just not. As great as you are, no matter what you can do, no matter how great a parent you are still mommy. You are not daddy. You know what I mean? You can raise up a great man. Barack Obama was raised by a single parent, and he became the president of the United States. But you know what? There's plenty of guys out there who had a mother and a father who turned into jackasses. At the end of the day, if you a man and you raise your child and you take care of your children, you are a father. If you are a mom and you raise your children by yourself, you are a mom. You are not a dad. You are not a father. And I don't think that it's fair that you get those accolades.
They're not male, and they know that. And the person, and me myself, when I say Happy Father's Day to my mother, I know my mother is not a man.
Do you get her a card that says Happy Father's Day?
I didn't this year, but I do.
Okay.
Let me get some comments in before we finish. Sexy C is checking in, which is
what's up, mommy? I mean, daddy.
And she's saying hello to the crew. What's up, lady? We hadn't heard from you in a while. Glad to have you check back in. Thanks for listening. Michelle K is saying that she agrees with you, Bless. Her grandfather and uncles played an important part in her life. Communicates with the other biological parent, but he made the choice not to be in her life, and it took a lot of strength for her to wish him Happy Father's Day. Hey, look, man, I get all of that, but you know what? I also know some people that got issues with their mothers. You know what I mean? And so,
it's the same. It goes both ways.
It does, but I guess I'm sensitive about this because I am a man.
You're a man.
I'm a man.
You're
I'm a man
that's doing your job. I think that's where it came
you know
from.
What?
So
and
many men
every
aren't
man
doing
should be like you.
Well,
yes,
I don't. I mean,
I don't think we
can
can take that many Marcuses.
Well, yeah.
We don't want any little arrogant.
I mean, we could be.
Marcuses
I'm very
walking
arrogant
around
about
here.
certain things, but I mean, I want to be humble about fatherhood because I know that while I try hard, there's a lot more that I can do. But I also don't think that it's fair that I see people receiving accolades for something that I don't feel like they earned.
But okay, we have to understand a little, and I think you understand where it comes from. The fact that there are men that aren't they have donated, but they couldn't step up and be the father. They could, and I know so many fathers that are great stepfathers. They take on everybody else's kids, but they don't take care of their own. So in the spirit of that, that's probably where a lot of it comes from. It comes from a lot of hurt. Comes from even if it's not a bitter woman. Say it's the child that appreciates, because they know their father could be here, but they're not. But mommy, you are taking the place of him. That's the spirit of where it comes from. People have twisted it a little bit now to where it's, oh, you're bitter, and they use it bitterly. But in the spirit of, I have a father, but he chose not to be here, and you still kept it strong, and you still tried to hold it all together. That's where the spirit comes from. It's not right.
So she deserves 2 days out of. Okay, I'm splitting hairs here.
She did twice the freaking work.
And that's in a case where the woman didn't go out and intentionally get pregnant. The woman didn't go
that.
out and
intentionally.
This is a good woman that stuff happened and the man is not there.
Okay, but
by choice.
If the day is specifically Mother's Day, I cannot replace a woman. In any sense of the word. If something happens to the missus, I cannot replace her.
This is not about replacement.
No, but that's what
this is about how the individual
is.
It
a gender specific? Is it a gender specific holiday?
Yes.
Is it a gender specific holiday?
It's supposed to be, yes.
Okay,
It's
then
Teacher's
how
Day.
can? And again, I'm not taking anything away from what you've said, and I understand your beliefs and your strengths behind it. How is it that women can be recognized on Father's Day, but you don't see any single fathers being recognized on Mother's Day.
There's so many. I mean, how few? How
but
many?
they're there.
They are there,
They
and
are
I've
there,
seen some that have
okay?
been.
And even if the parents are separated, okay? I know people who have kids, they are separated. They still are not saying, hey, JV, happy Mother's Day. No. Junior still has a mother.
Sexy C is saying that we're too serious on the subject. She knows who she is, and she loves the attention from her kids. Says, so if the father passes away while in the house, does the mother get Father's Day recognition then? That's a very good question. I hadn't even thought about that. If the father dies young and mom raises the kids because father is deceased, does she get Father's Day recognition then? I think a lot of the prevailing thoughts come from the fact that dad chose not to be there. Dad was a deadbeat jackass. And so because of the fact that mom had to compensate for his absence, now she gets to be mom and dad. But said asked a good question, ladies. What do y'all think about that?
I mean, in the unforeseen event that father dies, and she has to take over the role, I think that's somewhat different. I mean, it wasn't his choice to leave; it just happened that way. So I can't. She is still doing both of the roles, but that's not a case where father decided I'm not going to be there. Forget them kids.
Yeah, I think it's different too. I know daddy, I grew up with daddy, for whatever time I had with daddy. And if daddy passed away, that's one thing, So I think it's a little different.
I don't think it's different because at the end of the day, he ain't there.
You don't
at the
think
end
it's
of the
different
day, no,
because we're
I don't.
still saying Happy Father's Day or Mother's Day to the opposite parent.
I mean, my deal has always been that every time you say Happy Father's Day to a female, you minimize the contribution to any male who may have been there trying to help and hold you down, as well as any other male around. That's just how I feel about it. And if we say, obviously you didn't choose to die, but if you died, okay, it's different. Okay, you know what? This may sound cold-blooded, but you still wasn't there. So mom gets special kudos because you wasn't there because you did not choose to be there. Like, what's the difference? You still wasn't there.
Is a choice in one of them.
So the choice is what makes it different.
Yeah, in my opinion. But I mean, like I said, you've heard a little bit of my situation.
The choice is what started it all.
The choice is what started.
The choice is where it all came from.
It's
where it all. Yeah, in my opinion, that's where it came from.
And it's not to minimize the good fathers out here like you and Carlton Banks. It's not to minimize that. It's
I understand that it's not to, but the end result is that oftentimes on Father's Day we are inundated with conversations about the dumbasses and the jackasses and the punks that ain't around holding down their kids. We spend so much time talking about them on Father's Day that those of us who are there holding it down don't always get the recognition that we should.
Then you will need to revamp what you do on Father's Day. Seriously, if it's your day, the day that you want to claim, then you manage your day like you do any other day. You go ahead and you get your kudos from your wife, from your daughter, from your brothers, from your whomever. You go ahead and you take it and you run with it. You enjoy your day. You are the man in this situation. It is you. You're the father who's being recognized here. Nothing should take that away from you. Nothing at all. I wouldn't waste my time talking about whom's not taking care of their kids and the mother that's being recognized. That's an individual thing that has nothing to do with you. It didn't physically take anything away from you. If something physically was taken from you, you did it by acknowledging all the crap.
I think that, and that's fair. And what you just said makes sense. It's logical. There's no way I could dispute a word that you said. And I'm not even going to try. The only thing that I'll say is it is different if it's you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's different if it's you. And I agree with everything you said. I can't dispute any of that. And what you said is ultimately what I end up doing, which is the reason why in the last few years I've not even gotten into the discussion with people about it. I used to get fired up, and we're doing it on the show for the purposes of kind of putting it out there for the show. But for the purpose of having the discussion real time on Father's Day while I'm seeing, these, like I saw a picture of a kid in a bucket eating a cookie, and the caption was, Daddy took me to the pool and fed me, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that shit ain't funny, man. It's not. You know why it's not funny?
You got to understand where that's coming from. Now, and I'm gonna do this the best way I can. This is not taking. This is not. Listen, it's not taking away anything from Daddy. Understand who's the natural hairdresser in the household, Mommy or Daddy? Who's the natural cook?
I did hair
overall,
in the house up until my daughter was old enough.
Me? Who we're talking about here. These are different breed of men right here.
Well, Marcus can't cook.
There's a line. There is the mother role, and then there is the father role. Okay, so when you want to eat and Dad has to make dinner. Dad takes the shortcuts on giving dinner. Dad says it's okay to have pizza for breakfast. Dad says, okay, go ahead and get an extra cookie, but don't tell Mommy.
No, Dad said it's
That's
great to have
why
cake.
Dinner was the cookie. It wasn't taking anything away from Daddy. That is why dinner was the cookie.
So the pool and the bucket
is
not
it's play because
it's play to you because it doesn't take a shot at you.
No. Look, if they said Mommy fixed the window and I don't know, Mommy did the oil change and showed a big old spot underneath the ground under the car. I can do an oil change too, and I can install windows.
They're gender roles. They're definitely gender roles.
So that's all that was.
No, I disagree with that.
That photograph. And I didn't even see it.
Well, that's why you're wrong, because that photograph wasn't designed to be tongue in cheek. It was designed to take a shot
at fathers.
At fathers, that's what it was designed for. And you don't see
and
those.
Maybe it was an angry.
When's the last time you saw a photograph of burnt dinner? Sitting at the table for a kid on Mother's Day. You're not going to see that.
Okay, let me tell y'all what happened yesterday. I thought I'd be smart, and I got up and I made breakfast for William, right? And I burnt his pancakes. I burnt his sausage, but he was such a trooper. Okay. I tried to be cute and make the pancakes with the egg in the middle because he likes his eggs fried. So I tried to be cute and put the egg in the middle of the pancakes. And every time I tried to flip it over, the sucker broke or whatever. But I put them bad boys right on that plate. And I'm like, oh, sorry, honey. I tried to do your breakfast, but blah, blah, blah. And he just... laughed. And
he laughed because it was you.
He ate his breakfast.
He laughed because it was you. They ain't got nothing to do with no fatherhood.
He wouldn't care.
But that's not a fatherhood discussion.
Again. The whole point is you all are good fathers. You all deserve your kudos. You deserve all. I told you Happy Father's Day. I think I sent you a message.
And so
I
that's
didn't
why.
get you. I'm sorry.
And Carlton did as well. So yes.
I mean, for good fathers, for the men that take that place, that role, that mentor, that uncle, yes, you all deserve it because you have stepped up to the plate and
the
did
point
what
is,
you
why
were
do we have to share our day with the asses? Y'all ain't got to share y'all's day.
Man,
oh yes, there are a lot of deadbeat moms out there.
Thank you.
Really?
I told you,
they
I
are
have friends that I say happy mothers to. They are single parents who are men. And they say,
and they don't deserve it either.
Thank you.
Hakeem says, whoa. He's highly offended at that. He says that it's taken away from Daddy. I mean, and I also know that he's a dad as well. And I also know he's a good dad.
Oh, happy Father's Day, Hakeem.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, I guess.
I'm going to share something with y'all. When my mother used to come home, we'd be like, oh, hi, Mom. How you doing? When Dad would come home, oh, Daddy, because we didn't know if that dude was going to show up every day. Again, that's just
Is that the reason you were excited for real?
For real.
Were you excited? Because I've seen Mama J get excited when I come in the door versus when her mother comes in. It's like, hey, and it ain't because she's worried about me coming home.
I'm excited just when I see my mommy, period.
Well, I'm talking about my experience. We knew Mommy was coming home, and Mommy usually wanted everything straight in the house and all of that, and if we didn't, we were going to get in trouble. When Dad came home, most of the time it was a shock. I mean, just what it is.
So
but I still understand the fathers, the men that played the role in my life. My Papa Ray, my stepdad, who does anything that I need him to do, has never let me down. He gets the Happy Father's Day.
I can tell you. I mean, I every single I guess one of the reasons why I'm so sensitive about this is every single man in my camp, every single man that I know, that I'm close to, that I talk to, is a man that takes care of their children. Starting with both my grandfathers, coming down to my father, to my brother, to me, to Carlton Banks, to Jay Grizzy. I'm not speaking out of turn when I say that Jay Grizzy is a father to 2 stepchildren. Mm-hmm. He would tell you that himself if he was here. Mm-hmm. You know, so every single man is close to me that I know. I don't know any deadbeat dads. Like, seriously, I don't know these guys. And so when I see all of this, it irks me, and maybe I take stuff too serious. You know, I'm a very passionate man when it comes to things that I have a strong opinion about. Mm-hmm. When we talked about sports earlier, I'm like that with sports. Maybe I need to subdue my passion on certain things, but this one right here, every single year, it just irks me. It just does. Hakeem says, why was it a shock? Did you ever do anything that gave you the impression when you were a child that he might bail out and not return? I think he's talking to you, Black.
Yeah, my father was in and out. Like 2 years he'd be there, and in 2 years he's gone. 2 years he'd be there, in 2 years. So that's what we had to deal with until my stepfather came along, and he pretty much took in the role, and that's who Dad is now. Uncle Ed played the role. He taught me how to roller skate and how to ride my bike, how to change the oil and do a tune-up and all of that. But Dad, to this day, this dude gets my feelings up saying he's going to come and visit me, and I never see him. So
that's
no
crazy.
Happy Father's Day. I'm sorry.
I don't see how you do that to a kid. Ain't no how stepping with Marcus J. We're going to take our final break of the night. And when we come back, we're going to close out the show with our rants and our closings for Carlton Banks, Bless, SY, and yours truly. Ain't no how stepping with Marcus J. Be back in a minute.
Speak the truth, shame the devil.